Hey everybody, welcome back to Suckless Saturday. I am Neil, and I've got a special guest here today, a good friend of mine, Cara Conry. And Cara, tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you're doing here.
Well, I am an instructor from Northwest Arkansas. I run a business called Spirit Firearms Training, and I do real estate part-time as well.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cara has an interesting story, and we've got an interesting challenge for you today. You're going to have to stick around here and listen to this one.
You need a shot timer because that which gets measured gets worked on. The Range Tech Timer is the official timer of Active Self-Protection because it is versatile, reliable, feature-rich, and very economical. Check out all it can do at the link below.
All right, so Cara, you have taken a few classes with Active Self-Protection. We've been friends for a little while, and we've been down here. We're down here at the Old Fort Gun Club, in Fort Smith, Arkansas. It's a lot cooler this year than it was last year, and actually we're coming back in a month, so hopefully let's have this weather again.
Yes, or a little warmer.
Yeah,
no
maybe a little, less wind. But Cara, you've trained with us a little bit, and I just got to learn your story this weekend, and I wanted to bring you on and basically give a challenge to people that watch this that have excuses. So let's get the story of kind of what happened.
So the nutshell is 3 years ago today.
Yeah.
Today is the anniversary. I was in a European country and I had an accident on a scooter, which impacted me greatly in multiple ways. But one of the ways it really impacted me and kind of shook me hard was I had some nerve damage in my neck, and I actually lost the use of my trigger fingers to the point where my finger could not do a trigger at all. And that was unnerving because shooting is not only is it, I teach and I instruct and it's a passion of mine, but it's a hobby, it's a competition that I like to participate in.
And it's kind of a lifestyle that we live too, right?
And man, that really hit me to the core to go, what am I going to do? Because that's my trigger finger.
So let's back up just a little bit here to this accident. So you're overseas.
Overseas.
Where are you?
I was in Prague.
So you're overseas, not in America where we have our healthcare that some of us like and some of us don't. We're not going to get into that.
Right.
But a severe accident. We don't
Very
have to go into
severe
all
accident.
that.
Yep.
And now you have to get through that. Their healthcare is a little bit different than ours in that your husband got sent home or sent away.
Yeah, he government run healthcare, and they don't really allow visitors there. Yeah. And it was a really tough and trying time. And John talks about emotional fitness all the time. Yeah. Man, we had to really work through some emotional fitness there.
So then we get you home.
Yep.
Fast forward through all of the painstaking stuff there.
Absolutely.
And we get you home, and you get back to work and doing your thing, and now you can't pull the trigger of a gun.
Well, and honestly, it goes back to literally when I got home.
Okay.
I from the time I had the accident to the time I went back to work was about 2.5 months. But from the time I got home, I am not a person just lay in bed, and I wanted to solve the problem. I wanted to get back to doing what I love to do. And so I started, laying in bed doing nothing. I had access to my phone or my iPad, and I started researching I've got 6 other fingers. Can I do something different? And so I come upon some articles and some videos of people who talk about shooting with their middle finger. And so, of course, the first thing I did was I tried to do everything I could with a SIRT gun. So we talk about SIRT gun.
Yep.
Or even pulled out my lightest trigger competition gun, and I literally could not pull a trigger on that. And so I read articles and I watched videos, and I found that some people actually shoot with their middle finger. And so I just started from laying in bed, literally wasn't even standing on my feet. Every day I would pick up the SIRT gun and I would start to learn my grip and learn how to shoot, not just right-handed, but both right-handed and left-handed with my middle finger, to the point where I went back to work in June, but I did my first hardcore training in September.
Okay, after that was the Rangemaster?
That was no, that was not Rangemaster. Okay. It was Tom Gibbons' combative pistol.
Oh, okay. Well, so with the Rangemaster,
Tom Gibbons, and that was the first time I've trained with him doing combative pistol.
And so we're all Rangemaster people and have all been through a lot of Tom stuff. And I think Tom is actually, we're missing TACCon right now.
Yes, we are missing TACCon.
And so we're vicariously living through all
Absolutely.
of their other pictures on Facebook and stuff. So Tom Givens walks up to you.
Yes.
And did you give him a heads up about this at all?
I did not. Well, I did send him an email, but I don't know if he really read it.
Okay.
Because we were on the line, and it wasn't even the first drill. It was 2 or 3 drills in, and he walks by, and I think he just questioned me. He's like, "Why are you shooting like that?"
Yeah.
And all I did was say, "Hey, I had an accident," and he was fine with that.
Sure.
He didn't question it after that, but he did pull me aside at lunch, and he wanted to hear my story. And it's just, to me, it was incredible to go through that experience and validate that,
Mm-hmm.
just because I had a physical, and I don't want to call it a handicap, but a physical deficiency, that it didn't stop me from pushing through that class. And not only pushing through, but I did earn the card with the 5 shots at 5 yards in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Was shooting with my middle finger.
Oh.
And so that's really a coveted moment for me post-accident.
Those cards are a coveted moment.
They are a coveted moment. They are.
But to do that with something physically holding you back like that. And I know some people that have done it, have had to go through some Rangemaster stuff, offhanded or one-handed. I think it was Chris Bean just went through that one-handed because of some shoulder surgery.
Really?
So here's the thing for this week, and really why I wanted you to tell that story is because I think so often in the shooting world or any part of our life, we come up with the excuse of why we can't.
Yep.
And you went through a traumatic thing on the other side of the ocean. Had to figure out how to get home with some pretty severe medical issues going on, laying in bed, and then decided how to do this and get past your deficiency.
Yep.
So for this week, what we kind of talked about, what I want you guys to do is go figure out what your excuse is that's holding you back from doing something. Did you have a severe scooter accident in Prague and now you can't use your trigger fingers? If so, then you have the model to follow. I'm guessing there aren't very many people.
No, probably not very common.
Yeah, that's not a real common one. But I know that you're sitting at home and here's the reason you can't do whatever it is, whether it's shooting related or family related or work related. You have an excuse that you have built in that says, here's why I can't do this. And then what I want you to do is either go do a little research and figure out how to overcome it, or just figure out how you would overcome that.
Absolutely. And it could be that you've cut your finger, as simple as you've cut your finger and you've got to have a Band-Aid on it. But you know what? You're still going to protect your family, right?
Yeah.
So we have to think about those things, even on a daily basis, even if you're not going to a training class.
Yeah, and I'm not saying you have to go to the range and slice your hand open or something like that, but you potentially have an excuse. We all do, right? I have an excuse of different things that I use at home. Here's why I don't do this, and here's why I don't do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit and reflect. I have a 10-hour drive to get home. I am going to come up with something. I don't know what it is, but I will call you and tell you what mine is, and then you get to hold me accountable to figuring out my own solution. And I think that's what impresses me the most of hearing your story is that you came up with your own solution. You didn't go to somebody else. You went, you did the research, you figured it out, you made it work, and then you participated in something that you love at a pretty high level. Because passing anything with Tom is not low level stuff.
Right.
That's not beginner level gun school. That's some high end stuff. And when she's talking about shooting a card, if you watch any of the Range Monkey stuff, you saw Natalie and I do that. It's a 3x5 card. You stand at 5 yards. You got 5 seconds to get 5 rounds in it.
From the draw.
And
which was really compromised since I was drawing with two fingers.
With
two fingers.
There's some silliness that goes on there to make that happen. That's amazing. So folks, go figure out what your excuse is and then figure out what your solution to your excuse is. Come join us on Active Self-Protection's the Dry Fire Challenge or whatever. Put your excuse in there. Tell us how you overcame it. Put it in the comments. But get involved with this. I think this is a big one. We do a lot of suck less stuff of here's how you get your draw faster. Here's how you get better shots. Here's how you do this. This is more of an internal thing. Process this internally. Spend a little bit of time in your own mind and come up with your own
because
solution.
you can. You can. We learned that this weekend. You can.
You did, yes. Cara, thank you for joining me for this. This is a big one.
So exciting. Glad to have you here this weekend.
Oh, thank you. We'll see you next time. You guys can suck less too.